Hi everyone. All right, the review of Prometheus. Okay. Now, if you're a fan of the Alien movie series, you're probably really anticipating this movie or really want to watch it. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about Prometheus, the first thing I'm going to say is the imagery in this movie is incredible. It's incredible. Um, the way they pictured this movie, the color of this movie, the everything, it's just beautiful imagery. The cinematography is fantastic. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to get out of the way because that's the first thing I noticed about this movie. It's just beautiful to look at. It's like staring at art. Okay, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, about the actual synopsis of the movie itself. Again, if you're a fan of the Alien movie series, this is almost like a prequel, a prequel to the Alien movies, and it's basically about a team of explorers who find a number of clues about how the Earth began and the origins of the Earth, and basically this leads them to essentially journey to into the universe to find the answers. Um, Basically, one of the main characters finds something in a cave that essentially helps guide them to a planet, and it's on this planet that just about everything rolls. The whole story basically happens on this planet when they get there. The majority of the story. So you have scientists in here, you have pilots in this story, you have really shady characters in this story. Obviously, you have aliens. So you have a nice mix of personalities in this story. The pacing of this movie is really strange. I think this is where I started getting a little bit. It started well, but then it sort of started getting weird. The pacing was very sporadic. Like I said, it started well, and then it got into moments where it's almost like the director, Ridley Scott, could have cut off about 10 minutes of the scene and the scene would have still worked. So we seemed to dwell in certain scenes for too long, and that kind of made the movie drag, made it drag a little bit. Also, the scares in it were few. It was really surprising coming from watching the Alien movies, especially the first Alien and the second Alien. You guys know what I'm talking about. The scares in this movie were not that many. I was expecting a lot more scares, but there really wasn't. I would say there were probably two good scenes. One in particular involved the main actress and an alien. You don't want to miss that part. But other than that, and another pretty great scene again with the main actress and an alien, no other scene really came out at me. No other scary scenes really came out at me. So I would say all in all, it was somewhat of a disappointment compared to the last movies. I would give it a 5 out of 10, and I would tell fans not to have their hopes up, but just sit back and enjoy the imagery. I think that honestly was the best part of the movie. All right, I'm Lucas. Catch you next time on Scary Flicks.